to the podcast. We are the Rings Podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Gary. Quick and
No.
All right.
My name's Rob. I'm a diehard Truex fan, diehard Eagle fan as well, and that's all you really need to know about me, to be fair.
Right here, Joe. I am a fan of every kind of sport, to be honest. Big fan of Kevin Harvick, Dallas Cowboys, and a 22-time League Series champion.
I'm Gary. Diehard Jeff Gordon fan. Have been for a while, since I was young. But now it's more of I'm on the Chase, Ryan, and Bubba bandwagon. So I like all three of them. Diehard Pacers fan, diehard Colts fan, diehard IU fan for basketball, Notre Dame for football. Yeah, just an all-around sports fan. I love IndyCar racing and NASCAR. Those are my two mains. But yeah, that's about it for me. So, Rob, you got some topics for us. Let's just go ahead and dive right into it.
Yes. The first topic that's on deck is for us to review the Sonoma race from this past weekend for NASCAR.
What are y'all's thoughts?
In my opinion, it was a pretty good race. It had its moments.
Sure, absolutely. I thought the way I never really have seen a stage road course race because I work a lot of Sundays, so I don't get to see a lot of the races. But from what I saw, the stage racing really makes pit strategy interesting. Over the last couple of years, you'd see only guys make maybe two or three pit stops the whole race before the stages. Now with the stages, it seems like they're making, four or even five pit stops during the race. So what really sucked for me was seeing AJ miss a shift to blow a motor there at the beginning of stage 2. I thought that was kind of rough for him, but it was just one of those deals. I thought it was a good race all around. I saw that Harvick was I heard that Harvick was gaining there on the last couple laps of the race, but after seeing the replay, Truex was slowing down because Michael McDowell and Casey Kane were racing for position right in front of him, so he just didn't want to interfere with their race or have his race screwed up because he's trying to get around some slower lap traffic. But what do y'all think?
That's actually really accurate.
Well, for me, I think that the stage racing was pretty good. I actually saw people who needed points to stay out. I knew that Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex, and all the good and Kyle Busch would actually pit and not worry about stage points or anything, just go for wins. And that really sucked for AJ to blow a motor like that because I seen it happen. I could be the first guy to say it on iRacing. I've seen people do that and miss shift, and it was hilariously blowing up their engines every freaking moment at a road course. It's just absolutely crazy. But Truex's fake out though was just absolutely.
They deserve an Oscar for that.
That was beautiful. I'm sorry, I'm a Harvick fan, but man, that was absolutely beautiful.
I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to win the race, and if it's to fake your competition out, thinking that they're going to pit and you stay out. That's you gotta do what you gotta do to win the race.
So
I'm always fascinated by just the strategy in general that these guys make during the race, especially now at these stages, and what they decide to do when they decide to pit and all that. It's basically scripted for a road course, but it's interesting.
Being an unbiased fan here of Truex, I have to say this: when I seen Harvick and Boyer pit for that second time in stage 3, I'm like, his race is over. They're gonna catch him on them fresh tires, and they're gonna take it. I was honestly shocked when Harvick and Boyer did not make that time up quicker.
No.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Look,
But I mean, when you also have to go around the same amount of lap traffic Truex had to go through, I mean,
23 seconds is 23 seconds.
yeah, I mean that's half. That's not quite half a lap. That's a quarter of a lap, but that's still, on a 2-mile road course, that's still pretty significant.
Oh yeah.
But you also have to take into account that the amount of time that Truex gained on them was 8 seconds when he was behind.
Yep.
Then he gained it all back, past Harvick. Harvick pitted, and there you go. That's where all the seconds went down to 2.
Yeah, it's all about when you pit, how you get on pit road, how you get off pit road, where guys make up time when they pass you, and all that kind of stuff. All that comes into play whenever, not just at a road course, but when they say that things are just thousandths of a second apart,
They're not lying.
they're not lying. Like a thousandth of a second could mean first or last.
Look at what Harvick said though. Delana Harvick said on Twitter, Harvick was fine with losing the race like that. You win some, you lose some, and that's the best part about what I've noticed with Kevin and some of the drivers in general. Not rarely Kyle Busch, but they're starting to take it less serious, having. That's. Yep.
Got anything else to add, George? Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, by the way, I just want to mention I'm a horrible host here. Oh well.
We
not
actually
a lot
have
here.
2
We're just
viewers
talking
right
about-
now, so
Oh, hey, that's pretty legit.
they must be enjoying it somehow.
NT, do you got any feedback on we're recapping the Sonoma race to catch you up a little bit? You got anything on the race from Sunday?
You're getting paid 1 piece of Trident gum.
There you go. You want a free case of Miller High Life?
How about Bush?
Yeah.
Bush should help a lot.
No, he gets a headache from drinking Bush.
We have a Brad Keselowski fan here.
He hates him. Let's be real here.
Who is your favorite driver, MT? I've never really gotten an answer on that.
Cup.
Well, for Cup, I know you said in the past your all-time was Dale Sr. or Jr., but now that he's retired, do you have a new favorite? Well, okay.
That's a good pick.
Okay, I could see that.
Well, it wasn't his team that was crap. It was more like their execution and their equipment were not up to par. They were still getting used to Ford. They're still getting used to everything else on top of that.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes, with some combinations, like you saw with Harvick right away, you go out and dominate. Where sometimes, if you're in a situation like Boyer, you haven't been in really good equipment in a few years, and so you're readjusting to what's like, okay, I don't have to wheel the car as much as I used to. Now it's kind of like where Kane was at the beginning of his Hendrick career, where he would drive too hard at times, and then he reeled it in a little bit. And then he started, falling off the face of the earth again toward the end, but it's neither here nor there.
Yep.
Gustafson?
Ives.
Greg
Ives
Ives.
or Latart. Latart. Yeah. But you know what? They'll be back in NBC for sure on the NBC booth. So that duo is going to be all together again. Cool. Nice.
Oh man. Do we Alright, that works. Do you what do we got next here, Rob, on the topic list?
On the
What do we
topic
got?
list, I had a gateway review for the truck race. If anyone actually watched it, because I know I
I
caught
didn't
most.
watch it.
I caught most of
I know
it.
Travis Haley won, and I heard it was a pretty caution-filled race, but
Yeah. Justin
I don't
Haley
know
finally
exactly
got
what
his
happened.
win.
Yeah, and he's an Indiana boy, so I was
He's a
happy to
damn
hear
good
that he
driver.
won. He really is a good driver. He comes from nowhere, Indiana. When I heard his hometown, I had literally no idea where it was, but apparently it's
You had
near,
a Geo
Lafayette.
moment?
So yeah, I had a Geo moment. You know, he likes to make fun of Indiana and being in the middle of nowhere. So, but I mean.
Back home again.
Please don't ruin the song for me. Not that song, please.
Not
Okay.
that song.
Not right now. If anything, we could have Jim Neighbors sing it, but that'd be copyright, and he's also dead, so you can't really.
Oh, rip. May you rest in peace.
Rip Jim Neighbors. Yeah. No, but as far as the Gateway race, congratulations to Haley, but I didn't see it.
I'll say this right now. I seen most of it. I missed a little bit on my way home from coming back from dinner. But Travis Haley drove a pretty damn good race. He kept his track position in between all the wrecks. He was able to stay there and just keep his track position going. He was able to keep it solidly the entire race.
And kudos to Sara. He's won what, 4 races? They're definitely going to be a force to reckon with come championship time. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, I agree.
But
Alright.
that's really all we got for Gateway. That was a short segment. Unless you got something to add, Joe.
Because none of us watched it. No, I didn't see it. I didn't got a chance to see it. But yeah, I heard Justin Haley won. Congrats to him in that.
Yeah,
that whole
Justin
team.
Haley for sure. Yeah, he
Obviously,
was doing
I
really
was
good.
pulling for my boy Gregson, but yeah, good for him.
Yeah, Gregson has definitely come on this season as being a really consistent driver. I think he's just figuring out, okay, what do I need to do in late situations to try to win? Because I mean, if you look at Dover and you look at Iowa, where he was wrecking, trying to win, now it's just a matter of, okay, what can I do for next time to not, wreck myself to win a race.
Well, I don't think he was
And-
trying to wreck himself at Iowa. I think at Iowa it was just a racing deal where he had no choice but to go for that slide job.
Yeah, and sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. And I think he's still in that point in his career. He's still fairly young. He's what, 19?
19.
So
Yep.
he's still learning. He's still learning how to run in the trucks and learn how to win. But I think if it's for him, I think he should stay just one more year in trucks and then run a few more Xfinity races and see where he ends up after that. Unless he wins the championship this year, of course, and I think you have no choice but to move to Xfinity. But that's just my opinion on that. Hot take.
Not bad.
But what else do we
What's
got?
next on the topic?
Yeah.
No, you can skip that. We can start talking about Chicagoland. I got a little bit of a preview for that. Give our predictions. What we
Are
think's
we
going to go
skipping Road
down.
America?
I was gonna put that after.
Oh, okay, we can talk about that after.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about Chicagoland. Sure, more NASCAR. We got it.
Might as well keep the NASCAR theme going.
Hey, you know,
Alright.
that's what we do.
So for this one, I think we should go with 2 favorites, 2 underdogs. Go.
Two
Okay.
favorites. I'll take Truex as he's won there the past 2 years, and Kevin Harvick. Underdogs, I gotta go Eric Jones and Ryan Blaney.
Okay, all right. I like those picks. I like those picks.
And if I'm allowed to pick a third underdog, I'm going Kyle Larson.
Sure, that's
Ah,
fine.
Larson as an underdog.
Okay. All right.
Interesting.
What do you got, MT? You don't have anything right now?
He's just
think
sitting there
I think all right. We'll come back to you.
We'll give you, yeah, we'll come back to you.
I'm just here
It's
so I don't
here.
get fined.
What do you got, Gio? What do you got?
That
Okay.
I
All
wouldn't
right.
really consider
Not bad.
Clinton underdog though. He has 2 wins this season. Ooh, that's an interesting underdog pick.
All right.
right.
I know I think I'm gonna basically be going with everybody else for the favorites, with Harvick and Truex. Just a Ford or a Toyota this year. If you have that equipment, you got a chance to win. I mean, that's just how it goes. For my underdogs, I think I'm gonna go with the Chevy sweep here. I'm gonna pick Larson and I'm gonna pick Chase. We've seen, over the last few weeks with the Chevys, being the Chevy guy that I am and liking the Camaro, we've seen that their handling's there, for sure, especially as we've gone to a place like Sonoma. Chase finished 4th on Sunday. A lot of the Chevys were up in the top 10 on Sunday. It's just, I think the one thing they're lacking now is I think they're a little bit behind in the engine department as far as that horsepower. Because I think what kind of messed them up at the beginning of the season was, okay, oh crap, we got this whole new body. We need to focus on the body and get the car handling. And now they're behind in the engine department. And, to an extent, I'm not saying they're out of the championship or they won't win a championship this year, but they're behind the 8 ball a little bit right now, and so they gotta find something here in the next few weeks, or we might not see. I'm not saying we won't see a Chevy in victory lane before the end of the year, but it's going to be interesting to see if they can get them up there consistently and contending for wins.
Not really.
I mean, so far he hasn't proven that he's going to. I mean, no offense to Jimmy, but I mean, he needs that horsepower. I mean, I think the car's handling fine, but it just seems like he's not getting the power that he needs to go with that handling. I think he's setting his car so loose on the edge, and it's causing him to wreck, especially here early on in the season, that, he's used to having that horsepower to be able to save the car. And they don't have the horsepower right now between the Hendrick stable or in the ECR stable right now. You got to find something different, a different strategy to get up there. The only guy that's been really turning it up this year in the Chevys has been Larson. But, I mean, that just goes to show Larson can wheel anything.
He could wheel
To be quite
anything
honest
if an
with you.
engine, to be fair.
Right. Oh, yeah. I think if you get guys from a dirt background...
Sorry, gentlemen. I had my internet just decided to go out at this point in time.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you,
gentlemen.
I think if we're talking pure racing background and pure wheelman right now, that's what we got on the topic of, Joe.
I was
Larson's
gonna say my
definitely...
2 favorites, by the way.
But yeah, MT's.
Oh, you want to talk about
MT's
that? You
pick.
finally got those now? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What you got, MT? 2 favorites and 2 underdogs. What do you got? That's one of your favorites?
Oh.
Okay. What's your other favorite?
Whoa.
Okay. Hot take. All right. Okay, all right. And what's your two underdogs? Okay, all right, okay.
Austin Dillon.
That's
all right.
interesting. Austin Dillon, is he a Silver Spoon kid?
All right.
Not even a silver medal. All right.
All right, so
My turn.
So back to the topic of the
My
wheel,
turn,
man,
boys.
if we could,
You
real
forgot
quick.
about me.
yeah,
Oh,
Joe didn't
I
get
thought
his
you
picks
already
in
gave
that,
your
I
picks.
think.
Oh yeah,
No, I
his
did.
internet lagged out on him.
Yep, it died.
So
So what's your two phase and two unders? Go ahead.
That'll be obviously it's Harvick.
All right.
The other, Kyle Larson.
Okay.
fair.
All right.
I think he'll show up. And be in contention against Truex and buff Kyle Busch.
Okay.
So the other two that are my underdogs would probably be William Byron and probably
Ooh.
the other one I was going more with Almirola, to be honest.
Okay. Okay. That's not a bad pick. That's not
Can I
bad
give a
pick.
hot take?
What's your hot take?
Truex's streak ends and Chase Elliott takes his first win.
Oh,
You know, Elliott has come really close. I think everybody would like to see
Finish-
Elliott, take
he
the
Like,
finished
honestly,
two in a row.
he's really good at Chicago, and that's the only reason why it's kind of a hot take.
you know,
Second place. Second place the last 2 years.
Right.
To the best
What
driver
are
in
you saying,
NASCAR.
Gio?
There is no late race restart in the scenario I'm thinking of.
All right.
He just has a pure battle with Truex.
Okay. Okay.
It hurts me to say it, but yes.
Look.
Late caution.
Oh.
You think Chase will finish second again? Yeah. Okay.
I
All
think
right.
Chase
Or-
grows a set if he's battling with Truex.
Seventh. Ooh. Okay. Deep in the field. Exactly seventh. Okay.
I think-
All right.
We're
Look,
a
if
fifth.
Now, look, guys, the closest track to it has been Kansas. And you know where Harvey came from? He came from absolutely changing 4 tires, avoiding a wreck, to get to the lead on the last, with 1 lap to go.
You're sure? Absolutely. You got to take that into consideration too.
And the guys
do you
have
guys
been
want to go back
contending there.
to?
But if you
You
remember,
guys wanna go-
what did you say,
Oh,
Gary?
sorry. I said, do you guys want to go back to the Wheelman topic, or
Yeah,
do you
I'm
guys
down.
want to go on to Road America?
Sure, go ahead. Sure,
All
we
right.
can go for it.
So we were talking about the wheelmen in NASCAR. Like, who are the guys that can really wheel a car? I think we all agree on Larson kind of being above the rest right now.
Can
as
I
he's
give
showing
mine?
his results and his driving style. What you got?
Casey Kane.
Yeah,
He
is
doesn't
doing
show
some-
he doesn't show the results on a NASCAR track, but go look at his results on a dirt track, a sprint car. He kills it.
Oh yeah, I mean he is really doing a really good job in that 95 this year. I kind of expected him and McDowell to have similar results, and from right now it looks like they both probably would be if they were in the same ride this year. So I mean, yeah, I mean they're both. Yeah, so I mean, right now they're doing pretty similar. And that's not a knock on Kane or a knock on McDowell. I mean, they both have really pretty much the same driving ability, the same approach to a race to be really aggressive. And, I think if they were in better equipment, who knows? Who knows what they could do. But
Yes.
Benedetto, yeah. Oh yeah, sure, absolutely.
I think the GOAT wheelman will have to go to the 7-time champion though. He's won 7 championships, and he saved the car at Dover, 2006.
Right. I mean, Jimmy has he's come from a dirt background. It's not, dirt oval racing or anything like that. It's dirt trucks. I mean, so that to me that's very similar. So he definitely knows what it takes to manage the tires, manage the wheel spin, wheel the car to whatever he needs to do. But Jimmy definitely is one of those guys that could wheel it right on up there. I mean, it's shown within the last few weeks. I think he finished what, 7th on Sunday. So
and with shit equipment, don't forget. Right now they're behind with the Chevy program. Now that they got their what would I call it? Not their knockoff, but a simulated black tent. They'll be back. They'll be up there soon.
Oh yeah, I think it'll just be a couple more weeks, and if they figure something out in the engine department, I still think they're getting beat on the horsepower pretty bad.
Yes,
so if
because
if they find something with a little extra torque, who knows? They'll be right up there. I mean, it's just thousandths of a second apart.
The Fords have found something with their engine combination, and also their ratios on the gears, because that's what's making a huge difference down the straightaways in any track they go to, especially if you noticed more at Pocono and Michigan. And at Charlotte with the draft package.
Yeah, yep, that's true.
Can I say underrated real man in my opinion?
Sure.
Go for it.
Besides Matt the Benedetto, who I agree with George is very underrated, I honestly Landon Castle.
Oh yeah, yes.
I mean, for getting into that Starcom equipment, he's been wheeling it to
top 20s.
Yeah. I mean, getting up there consistently.
Fun fact, Landon Castle has very little DNFs. He does not wreck a car.
Yep, he had the highest finish rate last year.
Yep. Yeah. You look at, and it's on top of Harvick, and it tops in Truex, Kyle Busch.
He honestly is the most. What's the word I'm looking for? Safe driver.
I wouldn't necessarily go safe, because I think there are times he's really aggressive. I want to say the smartest driver, maybe one of these smartest drivers in the garage area. He knows when to be aggressive. He knows when to not be aggressive. And he just takes care of his equipment. That's what he's known for. And he's wheeling the car to top 20s. I would like to see what could happen if he gets in maybe a Stewart-Haas car, or, even, with Gibbs, or maybe even with Hendrick or somebody like that,
I think we're seeing living proof out of Almirola, though. Almirola was in Richard Petty equipment for years, and now that he's in a Stewart-Haas car, you're seeing him run top 10, top 5 at times.
Yeah,
he's running fantastic, to be honest.
He is looking like he was in the when he was driving for Junior back a few years ago in the '88. He never won a race in the Nationwide Series, as it was called back then, but he was running top 5, top 10 every week. And I think if you give Almirola to build a year around that team, if it's not later on this year or any week now, I think you could definitely see him in victory lane beginning of next year.
Bold prediction: he's going to win Daytona in July 7th.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. He's
get himself from the Daytona 500 from what happened with Austin Dillon.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
He will redeem himself, but he will not wreck Dillon. He will actually be in the lead, in control of the race, because his teammates will be right behind him.
Yeah, for sure. Let's move on to Road America. What do you got, Rob? For Road America?
I watched a little bit of the race. It was somewhat entertaining, and it was definitely a race fueled by strategy mainly. Newgarden was able to even to start the race. Will Power had a mechanical failure, had to get an engine put in.
Yep.
But he was already like 5 laps down. They put him back out. And they just said, "Screw it, just park it." And I noticed that the Andretti cars were having a lot of trouble with their, I think it was their steering column, because they kept having, Alexander Rossi and Zach Veach both had to go in, when they were going for repairs in pit road to change tires, they had to do some steering column work.
Huh. Yeah, that's true. Newgarden, once again, being a dominant force in the IndyCar series.
He went out
The top five, Rob, I think we talked about this earlier. The top five are separated by 65 points.
Something like that, yeah.
So, I mean, I think third and fourth is tied at 45 points behind the leader. It's an interesting race, coming down to the last few races of the year, so it'll be interesting to see who'll be the champ. I personally think it might be Dixon. Dixon's in the lead, and we all know Dixon's that consistent guy, that cool guy under pressure. He's won at Texas already this year, so it'll be interesting to see what could happen for sure. But I think personally, Dixon's got a shot, and if he keeps running the way he's running, I think he's the champ for sure. My question is for y'all, especially you, Rob, since we're kind of the IndyCar guys here. What do you think of Dixon's comments after the race about the aerodynamic package?
Interesting. I definitely think the aero package is coming into its own now, the universal aero kit. I actually kind of like it.
Yeah, my main concern going into it was how are all the teams going to work together? Because, prime example, Harding Racing last year, they were running really good under the old package. I think it's because they could do more with the car, they had a little more flexibility to be able to get that speed. Now that it's a universal air kit, or aero kit, there's not a whole lot they can do to the car adjustment-wise. And so, depending on how much money you got, that's what it always comes down to racing. If you don't got a lot of money, you're not going to be running the top 5, top 10. But if you got a lot of money, you're going to be in contention for wins. That's why we always had the big three with Andretti and Ganassi and Penske up there in IndyCar.
Yeah.
But
yes.
Yes, for another 2 or 3 years. Texas is working on a contract extension.
Phoenix is not returning to the schedule. It's been confirmed.
Yeah, I saw that. I think Texas is a little upset because for a few years, they were the first race after the 500 in Indy. So they're wanting to go back to being that race. They don't think. I'm not a big fan of the Detroit road course. I'm not. I know it's close for Penske to have his meetings or whatever. I know Rob has talked about this several times. But for me, I would like to see them go back to Michigan International Speedway. It's always put on a good show there. I'm sure the fans would come out and attend that race in a heartbeat. I'm not saying it'd be a sold-out crowd by any means, but I think it would be something that fans would enjoy. I think the fans, they want more ovals. It's just a matter of IndyCar swallowing their pride and stop going to all these road courses and go to more ovals. Because I think that's what really will get the fans back, is if they go to more ovals. Because, it's starting to get to the point where, before we know it, they're probably only going to have 1 or 2 oval races a year, and that'll be the Indianapolis 500 in Texas if they keep going down the road they're going right now. Which, for people that watch, no offense to like George or Joe in here, but NASCAR fans, it's ovals almost every week except twice a year. Well, 3 times a year now with the Charlotte Roval, but if they want to watch an IndyCar race, they kind of want to see what it's like on an oval. They don't really care about the road courses. So maybe if they go back to maybe an Auto Club, if they go back to Michigan, or heck, even Homestead, I think that could put on some really good racing.
I agree. I'm looking at the I'm actually looking at the race results from Road America, and I'll say this: Robert Wickens has continued to impress me this year of how great he's running that Schmidt Peterson equipment. He's outran the equipment he's been given.
Oh yeah, for sure. Honestly, I I kind of feel bad for Hinchcliffe, to be quite honest. You know, a little bit. Part of me is like he should have stayed in Andretti, but you know, another part of me is like, you know, maybe he wanted to go have a challenge and drive for Peterson. You know, I think if a third manufacturer came into the sport of IndyCar, it would really help Peterson Motorsports to me, because they're in Honda right now, right?
Yeah.
Honda's their engine supplier. I feel like they're not getting everything they could get compared to a Ganassi or an Andretti. I think if a third engine supplier came in, I think Peterson would jump on it, and I have a feeling they would get the best of that manufacturer could offer if they had a third engine supplier.
I agree.
Hot take on that. Boom. IndyCar still needs a third engine supplier. Where's Toyota at or something? Like, come on.
Supposedly, McLaren will be entering the sport next year with Fernando Alonso as their entry.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's interesting to see.
That's been rumored for a little while now. Because McLaren isn't doing anything in Formula 1 right now. Since Alonso's championship in Formula 1 back in, I want to say 05 or 06, he has really entered each manufacturer he's driven for in Formula 1 at a really bad time. He drove for Ferrari at a really bad time. Now he's driving for McLaren at a really bad time, where they're kind of slow and at the bottom of the charts every week. I think when he was running at Indy, and he was running top 5, I was there at that race. He was running top 5, running really well before the engine blew. But
that was with a Honda engine, right?
Yeah, it was with the Honda engine. But I think if McLaren came to the sport full time, it would really help the sport. And I think if Fernando Alonso entered in, for a full-time year, I think he could win a championship. His first year out, that wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise you. Could consider that a hot take, but it wouldn't surprise me. I know I'm basing it off of one race, and it being the biggest race of them all. But it would not surprise me if he won at least a couple races in his first year, because he was showing a lot of speed at Indy, and I know people are saying, "Oh, it's Indy. How hard can it be?" But like, you're going 230 miles an hour into a corner without power steering, and you're taking like 5 or 6 Gs going into each and every single corner at over 200 miles an hour. And to be honest, I love NASCAR. NASCAR is a great sport. They go 500 grueling miles every week, but you gotta have a set to be able to drive 230 miles an hour, not lift, going into turn 1 in Indianapolis in an Indy car with no power steering. You gotta wheel that car. I mean, if you look at their onboard cameras when they're on an oval, or heck, even on a road course, they're wheeling that thing, and I mean, they really are wheeling that thing. It's not just some simple little thing that they do. So I don't think at times, IndyCar drivers get enough credit for what they actually do. But that's neither here nor there.
Let's go. Alright, nice. Well, yeah, you're right. IndyCar drivers do deserve a lot more credit for going 230, almost 240 miles an hour in the corner and attacking the corner quickly in every single lap with precise precision without crashing.
I mean, it's a hard thing to do. Now, I know in NASCAR, you still got, they're going over 200 miles an hour when they enter a corner too, but like, they have some things to help them out. They got the power steering, and all that, but like, it's just different. It's a different breed of sports. That's why I can't really. That's why I don't like comparing the two series. It's apples and oranges. You can't do it. You really can't. You really can't compare them.
Plus, technology really showed up, though. Technology's really shown up in both series.
Right. And so I really can't say, oh, well, NASCAR's better than IndyCar, or IndyCar's better than NASCAR. I mean, they're both equal to me. They're both great in their own right. But the superior racing series, I think, out of the open wheels, I think somebody will agree with me on this one, is definitely Formula 1.
Yep.
If we want to go most superior stock car series, well, there really is nothing out there other than NASCAR.
And ARCA. But ARCA
ARCA's under NASCAR now.
ARCA Simulator. ARCA Simulator, more like Wreckfest.
ARCA just sold its rights to NASCAR, though.
So it's basically all NASCAR now. Like, there's no other stock car racing series out there right now, other than maybe late models. pretty much.
Oh,
Do we have
Rob.
any other topics, Rob? Or are we close?
Rob, you saw the thing, right?
In the chat, yeah, about NH3.
Yes. Yes, sir.
KNN's
Do we really wanna talk
basically
about that?
confirmed for NH3 is what he basically just wanted to say.
Yep. Because Deegan did an interview with actually was doing an interview, and then they caught her on camera doing something for NASCAR Heat 3. So that basically says that K&N is confirmed in NASCAR Heat 3.
Which, you know, that's great. I would like to see that. You know, if it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, great. I mean, it's not going to hurt my feelings either way, but
Exactly.
the rumors with the dirt, people just need to stop talking. There's no dirt series. I'm sorry.
You want to bet on that one because you really be careful with what we're saying right now because it could show up. To be honest, I think there could be another dirt series if you paid attention also because K&N does run dirt at times.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to have like a Dirt to Daytona 2, awesome, great, that's fine. But I'm tired of all these fans of the games coming out and saying, oh, well, they're gonna have this when they don't know anything. Like, don't say something if you don't know something. Don't spread rumors that they ain't true.
Yeah, but I know the material I see though, because I know what could and what could not. I can make a judgment call of what's there, what's real and what's not real. I knew that the truck series was going to show up because of Brandon Brown's interview that he did on Facebook Live. Basically threw it out the window, and then Haley Deegan said basically, she did something for a future game that's going to come out with her in it. So there you go.
Honestly, I mean, all four series are gonna. I mean, the top three divisional series are gonna make a return. We all know that.
Yep.
Now it's just okay. Fourth series is it K&N? Cool. I mean, great. More power to them. You know, if they can do that and make the game better at the same time. You know, that is the key.
I think they will. There will be some difference.
I think to me, you know, a lot of people want to see day-to-night transitions. They want to see a paint booth. They want to see this in career. They want to see how you can spend money in career mode, all this stuff. To me, I just want to see the Highline work at every single racetrack to an extent. Like, the only place where it works, and it works too well, is Homestead in Kansas. That seems like that's the only two places where the Highline works. If they can just figure out a way to make all lanes raceable instead of just hugging around the bottom line, I think you could have a really good game, and it could have a lot of potential. To me, I just want to see the racing get better first. And then, of course, the online lobbies as well. Just hopefully they have some server improvements as well. Those are my two main things.
Alright. How about you, George?
Fair. For me, I kind of have to go the same path as George, to be fair. I just want a decent racing game, but if I had to choose something in particular, I'd really want them to get off the Unity engine. I think if they get off the Unity engine and choose a different engine, they would be able to make this game, physics and graphics-wise, 20 times better.
Okay, Rob, I'll take a hot take on that one because I've worked with the Unity engine before. I have experience with it. I know how to make a game with it, and I know what to push the limits to it. You can do so much on the Unity engine, but you cannot blame the Unity engine for not being able to do the job. It's the developers that are at fault in here. It's not the game engine. Because the game engine has their limits, but you can do a lot more with that Unity engine than what you see on NASCAR Heat 2. Have you seen the 2018 Unity update?
I have not.
Look at the 2018 Unity update. right now,
Just send it.
and you'll
Just
see
send
it.
him a link. Send him a link,
Yeah,
Joe. Let
I'll
him have him
send
take a
it.
look at it. Because
But look,
honestly, Rob, I think part of the problem is with Monster making the game. They haven't made a game since what 2002, 2003,
Yeah.
when Daytona came out. So they are literally, what is that? 2002, 2003-ish. It's 15, 16 years behind. They are really far behind. And so if they can find out, you know, what they can do in the coding to make things better, maybe the Unity engine isn't the problem. And if they improve the coding and Unity is the problem, then maybe you're right. Maybe they do need to go to something else. But I think what they need to do is I think they need to fix their coding to make it not drive like a PS2 game and make it
Exactly.
drive more like a PS4 game, which I think which is what I think it comes down to coding.
that's the key, because with the Unity engine, you can do a lot with it. With the 2018 update, that video showed day to night transition. You saw the graphics more clear. There's no A-listing anywhere. It runs at a perfect 60 frames per second. You can even see the environment move around, like trees, a little bit of movement in the trees and all that good stuff. They even showed a video of a boat going through water. It looked pretty good, honest.
Yeah. So, do we have anything else? Oh no, you're good.
Yeah, we do need AI and awareness if we're running the outside line, because if we're running the outside line close to the wall, they gotta know not to squeeze us into the wall unless they're rivals. They can.
But if they're not rivals, why put us in the wall? To be honest, what's the point of it?
Yeah, because right. I mean that's really unfortunate. But I mean, I'm thinking from a perspective of not just having the multiple grooves for, um, just racing offline with the AI or whatever. But I'm thinking like online, just racing with other people and racing with your buddies, racing in a league, whatever. That could really improve online racing, as if they have multiple grooves. Because, yeah, I know you see the little kids now wrecking everybody every 5 seconds on a public lobby like right now, but I think some of that could attest to, hey, there's only one groove around every single racetrack at some point or another. Yeah, you can get some good racing at Homestead in Kansas, but with those two tracks, what line always prevails? It's always the high line. Unless you are able to pull some kind of sweet Christopher Bell slide job. There's really no other way you could pass somebody at those kind of tracks.
If you run a lane, unless you run a half a lane for the bottom, you can actually make the pass there.
Yeah, and it all depends on how you drive your line and things like that as well. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you there, but I'm saying overall, like, if they had multiple lanes and made all those lanes work, there's no telling what this game could do. But, Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're behind on that too. Way behind. Oh wait. 2007 actually, because NASCAR Away came out, and that's the first game we had with track car. Oh, it's okay. You're good.
taking it 2 stops. Yeah. Sure.
But yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
the
yeah,
roll.
that'll be cool.
That'll be a Wreckfest online though.
Yeah.
We're gonna wreck into that chicane going into turn 3.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. But no, do we have anything else to cover? Anything at all?
I think Rob is about to see the Unity.
Yeah, I'm watching the video right now of it. It's pretty good.
I'm telling you, that's that they have for 20.
We have no. My departure's coming out early. Everybody, talk to Gio about your check-in, T.
I just want to say before I end it, thank you for watching, and this episode was dedicated to Jason Johnson. May he rest in peace. Yeah.